Hey you guys, it's Tatiana from 13 Crow Intuitives. So it's so funny because I literally just put one of my favorite playlists on shuffle, right? And this song that just came on is called That's No Fun by Steve Lacy. And if you listen to this song, wow, like the message in the song is he's saying, I change, you change, why will one stay the same? And that's giving me so many chills right now because this message, as you can see in the title, is about the new moon energy, right? And this past new moon, this eclipse was teaching us a lot about our shadow energy, a lot about our self-doubt, our self-doubts, our thoughts. You know, when you have a lot of intercepting thoughts who what was I saying? I just had a brain fart. Um, People who have intercepting thoughts a lot more than they're practicing positive affirmations, okay? I'm sorry. You guys have to go through allowing yourself to not be afraid of your change. You guys have to go through allowing yourself to be able to speak up to yourself, from yourself. Okay, this is a lot of throat chakra accessing. For some people, depending on where you are in your path, you're still releasing a lot of the stigma of not being a part of the status quo, wanting to dabble more into your spirituality, but not really wanting to get out of the hustle and bustle of like the hustle culture and like 9 to 5 and wanting to be like, oh, like get the bag, this and that, whatever, whatever. Listen, live your life the way that you want to. No one's stopping you, but the only one that's fooling you is you. There's people who can see through masks, they can see through charades, you know, they can see who you are as a person. That doesn't make you a bad person per se. You know, that just means that you need to stop guilt tripping yourself, doubting what you want to be in your heart, in your soul space. Okay, and for a lot of us with this new moon energy, we were very tested. We were very tested by the shadow energy was going on. Some of you have lost friends, some of you have lost relationships, some of you have gained boundaries, some of you had to set new boundaries in place and set them in stone for good with not only other people but with yourself as well. That's very important. The number 222 is also sticking out to me greatly right now for this message. And when it comes to 222, not only 222 but with 22, this is about you know, using your lack of doubt when it comes to pairing yourself and your intuition with your soul family, when it comes to being able to look at yourself in a mind and body aspect. I'm not going to go with the three because usually with the three I like to say the triangle, and I like to refer to that as the mind, body, and soul. But with your mind and body, you're learning how to speak your own language pertaining to what's going on in your head and what you're feeling in your body. You know more of the way that you want to be feeling daily. And for some of us, you know, we could go through depression, anxiety, and things like that, and it doesn't really feel good, right? You want to gain a better sense of yourself, a better knowledge of where your head is, and not really make yourself your, like, not let your mental illness define you, which is very, very important when it comes to self-healing and strategizing. It's not easy. It doesn't take a day. Some of us have been on our journey longer than others. There are a lot of people awakening to what's going on around them in their energetic space when it comes to the 3D and the 5D. I'm sorry, there's a truck passing by. When it comes to the 3D and the 5D, this is pertaining to the energetic field that is already around you. We're already in the 5D. Even when you're a medium like myself, you're constantly communicating between the 3D and the 5D. You know, your deities, your guides, your ancestors, they're all around you. A lot of beings, a lot of energetic beings are coming into the field. This is also why I recommend a lot of my clients to use cedar, to use rue, you know, frankincense, myrrh, things like that. Not really sage, because sage is an elder use herb, and sage clears everything out of your space, even anything that you want to work with as well. And a lot of people don't know that. Something else about sage is it also, if you don't know what negative entities are in your space, so let's say you got some little ghosties in your space that have been dormant for a little bit, and you use sage, this could awaken those entities as well. So you want to be sure in be capable and willing to look into new cleansers. Don't just go with the status quo of a sage and Palo Santo. It's annoying for those of us who already know this message. But there are so many other cleansers for you to use. Hyssop as well, yarrow as well, black salt. And it depends on how you're cleansing too. You can also make yourself a wash, an energetic wash, like, sorry, some noises going on inside and outside. You can make yourself an energetic wash as well. I like to make a holy water that I set in a big glass bowl on my altar. That's something that works for you. I don't like to share my recipes, but I will, if anyone has a question about that, you can ask me and I'll share something that's a little bit more universal. So I just wanted to get this message out for the new moon energy, because a lot of people are moving into accepting themselves for their soul path and what they want to align to in their mind and body. And going back to the number 222, this is very important when it comes to raising your energetic vibration, when it comes to viewing even other people around you for what they are, viewing yourself for who you are is very, very important. Viewing yourself for who you want to be is very, very important. Not so much like, you know, for some people, I made this message the other day about the shadow energy when it comes to looking at social media and seeing someone live another lifestyle that you feel like you want to abide by or feel, but then you'll like post something and then you're just like in your mind like, should I have posted that? Like, I don't really align to this. And you know, it's a lot of performance tactics that a lot of people are doing when it comes to this generation in general, when it comes to us younger people, even older adults as well, you know. So what we have here is what's going on for this new moon energy for the general collective. What's changing for the general collective? What's changing for the general collective in the new moon energy? Beautiful. What's changing for the general collective? And this is a beautiful message because a lot of people have been selling themselves short about who they could be. This is a beautiful message. Sorry, some of my cards flipped over. I'm getting the message of the song Bounce Back as well by Big Sean. And when it comes to that song, like, there are some of you who were wronged by potential mates in your life, specifically when it comes to a lot of femmes and dealing with dominant masculine people. Like, you went through a really hard energetic breakup that you're getting through now, and it was something that you kind of felt like you couldn't have even bounced back from, okay? And you're bouncing back. This is beautiful. And even now, you know, when it comes to feminine and masculine energies, it's not so much, I'm sorry, I'm like having trouble breathing. I don't got the COVID, I promise. I'm just like I need to light some peppermint or something. Okay, so anyway, where was I? So when it comes to feminine and masculine energies, right, we all embody feminine and masculine, and a lot of feminine based people or heavily feminine people went through something with the energetic masculines. And even now in this golden age in 2020, a lot of masculines are awaking to the patriarchy and how they have been a part of silencing the feminine. And you know, there are still a lot of people who choose to be ignorant to these things. Personally, I don't choose to interact with people like that or to really engage in arguing with people like that, so it's not really showing up in my life personally. I don't choose to break through arguing with those people, because it's the whole thing with, like, you can lead a horse to water, you know. I'm not going to go out of my way to give my beautiful constructive criticism I'll say that, just for someone to run over it with a wheelbarrow, right, with dirt on the bottom, muddying my beautiful work. And as the feminine, you know, we have to do better at not over explaining ourselves, right? That's a really important boundary. Not over explaining ourselves. And even those masculines who use their feminine energy greatly and love to express themselves, love to express themselves and show a lot of love, right? You don't want to just be constantly putting out where you're not getting that feedback and that input, right? So what I have here for a general collective message of the new moon energy is a lot of people are receiving wish fulfillments that they were doubtful about. A lot of people have received new job opportunities, new clients, you know, ways to open up new jobs, new business opportunities as well. You have here the nine of I was about to say the nine of wands, and even then that's crazy that I just thought of the nine of wands, because this is the nine of cups, okay? But with the nine of wands, that message is about resilience. You keep going. With the nine of wands, on that card, you know, it's the man, and he's stacking all of his wands in the row, and he's all beat the fuck up. He's been through a lot, okay? Yeah, like you've been through a lot. You've been through so much within this past year. Not only in this past year, but for some of you, even November 2019 was a really big energetic change and movement for you, especially pertaining to a love relationship, okay? Some of you were battling you know, that angel and the devil on your right and left shoulder. And for some of you, it's like, you know, when it comes to the left hand path and the right hand path, you had like, it felt like your angel was on the left and the devil was on the right. So what I mean by that is it felt like, you know, it felt kind of good to be in that ego. It felt like it was good to get back at other people this way. It felt like it was good to be involved in those behaviors for some of you. Take it as it's resonating. And now you're realizing that you don't want to stick to those rudimentary behaviors. You don't want to stick to the gossiping. You don't want to stick to texting your friend like, oh, let me tell you about what he said, she said, they said, whoever they are, whoever that person is. And, you know, you don't want to stick to doing those things ever again, quite frankly, because they don't put you anywhere. They set you back in your own self. They cause blockages in your own self, okay? So you have here wish fulfillment for you. Resilience, even then, that message of resilience with the nine of wands, I feel this coming out in the nine of cups heavily for a wish fulfillment, because you're receiving energetic alignment here about what makes you happy. And if you were looking for that job, you're getting that job. If you were looking for, you know, that peace of mind, that clarity within self and your emotions, this cups is all about water. What makes you happy? What makes you happy in your emotions? What makes you happy in your head space, your heart space, your mind and body and soul feel whole? So what I'm seeing and what I'm sensing in this message, the green is sticking out to me greatly on the ground. The green is sticking out to me greatly. I'm sorry. It's sticking out to me greatly, third time's a charm, because of the heart chakra energy, something that you've been preparing for in your heart space for a very long time to feel, especially when it comes to setting your energetic boundaries, okay? This is something that's going to be different for you. I'm also getting the cherry as a spirit totem for some of you. So, you know, sometimes cherries can be, I'm getting the message that sometimes cherries can be sweet, sometimes they can be tart, right? And you know, not all endings, some endings feel bittersweet. It's not going to feel that good to let go of a friend. It's not going to feel that good to let go of a lover that you've had to let go of, that you genuinely had a lot of love for. But you know, you can release with that love instead of the anger, the love that you're ready to put into yourself. You know, it doesn't feel good to hold that chip on your shoulder, right? Pertaining to that person or that place or that thing. And now you're moving into a better space in yourself. You're looking towards the sun because there's so much coming in for you. It feels so much better to look towards the positive light in your life rather than look towards the negative. Although it's been such a hard time getting out of that negative heart space, getting out of, a lot of us had went through seasonal depression before. We knew what was coming for us, the good that comes when you learn to check and intercept it through those emotions and through those negative mind states, right? It takes a lot to be able to constantly correct yourself and correct yourself. Especially I like to practice positive affirmations every day. So even then I noticed one day where I was walking to the garbage, like I wasn't even doing anything, and because I practice positive affirmations so much, I was just like, I was walking to the garbage and I was just hearing like, you're so beautiful, you're so beautiful, you're amazing, like and stuff like that. And then I like looked at my subconscious thoughts that were coming out to me. I'm just like, oh wow, like yeah, like practicing positive affirmations genuinely does work. It really does work for you. When you truly sit there and you believe that where you are in your path, even though you might not be able to see the bigger picture yet or the full picture yet, okay, you can have comfort in knowing that where you are receiving the tools that you need. You have all the tools that you need to be able to start on your new journey and bettering yourself. And when it comes to creating goals, for some of you, for my older people, the school bus just passed by, you have some kids that are going back to school. For you, you could be going back to school, or you know, thinking about going back to school. I'm getting Hierophant energy as well. I'm looking to reach a higher level of learning, and what you're preparing to do, that will be very good for you. That's going to prove to be very successful for you. And what you have here as well for the new moon energy, what is coming for people, what this energy is all about, and these new beginnings. I made a post before, you know, this is about new beginnings, transformations, endings. For some of you, realizing you want to live a more simplistic lifestyle. For some of you, you want to live a more lavish lifestyle, but in comfortability in yourself and your emotions. That's fine. So what you have here, you have the Seven of Wands and the Ace of Swords, okay? So what this is telling me, look, that message about resilience, even more so than before. Some of you, I'm getting, you know, two different things. Some of you are still a little bit at the beginning of your spiritual awakening stages, where you're ascending. A lot of the times at the beginning of your awakening, you're ascending through learning how to speak up for yourself, and learning how to actually practice having those boundaries, which can be more so learning how to speak up to yourself. And it's not so much being able, because look, when you practice your throat chakra, yeah, you could go and sit there and tell people about themselves all day, but are you telling yourself about what's going on with you? It's not everyone else's fault, okay? So you have to be able to sit there and take accountability. Throat chakra energy and opening your throat chakra is just as much about taking self-accountability as it is trying to make someone see something in themselves. And most of the time, you shouldn't even be sitting there trying to waste your time trying to get someone else to see the bigger picture that's meant for you. Take it as it's resonating. So you have here the Seven of Wands and the Ace of Swords here. And what this is telling me is that a lot of you have been journaling. A lot of you have been working more towards, you know, manifestation, seeing it as a popularity in your spiritual journey, learning how to write. Even some of you have been trying to manifest your 2021 goals by writing them on paper. Amazing, beautiful, as you should be doing every single year. It's so important. To be able to reflect and view how, like, keep those notes from the beginning of the year to the end of the year and see how far you've come. It doesn't mean that you will have you know, accomplished all of those goals that you wanted to set, but the fact that you've gotten as far as you did is the biggest thing, okay? And you have here, even if you have a setback, even if you have many setbacks, you've gone through many different versions of yourself to get to where you are today. Okay? And the biggest thing is being able to speak up for yourself. This is a big message in the wish fulfillment of being able to speak up for yourself, being able to align to what your boundaries are as a person, being able to respect your charismatic nature, and not being the one to feel like you're always being stepped on is a big thing. And you don't have to release that with ego or anger, or trying to get someone to see, like, hey, what the fuck, like, why are you doing this, why are you, no. And it's just, it's all about speaking from an openly direct space. You know, hey, what you did wasn't okay. That really hurt my feelings. Even from a sense of vulnerability as well. What you did wasn't okay. You misunderstood my nature for something else, and it really hurt my feelings. So what I'm going to have to do is release you and let go. And you don't have to sit there and try to argue with someone to make them try to realize how amazing and beautiful and intelligent you are. They know, they see it. They see it in you. It's not about you. It's about them, okay? So what you have here, this Ace of Swords, this is telling me that there's a lot of clarity being received for you when it comes to a doubt that you had in speaking up for yourself and your voice. What you had to speak up for yourself and having that strength, being able to tame your ego. This is what is coming out to me. This greatly reminds me of Leo energy. Some of you take it as it's resonating, could be Leo, sun, moon, or rising, or I'm getting even Venus pertaining to romantic relationship. Could have even been involved with a Leo or a fire sign as well. Some of you are fire sign, sun, moon, and rising. And what you have here is the strength, being able to hold yourself down. I'm not really even seeing this more so about being able to tame someone else, but being able to tame yourself, being able to know when to speak, being able to know what dialect is proper and what isn't proper to say at the right time. And it's not about, oh, like, you know, language semantics and like, oh, proper or not proper. No, that's not what I mean. I'm coming from a place of more so, you know, you don't have to sit there and yell at someone to get your point across. You don't have to sit there and over explain yourself to get your point across. You don't have to sit there and beg someone to get your point across. And some of you were begging, crying, pleading, like, why can't you understand me? Why? And it wasn't up for this person to understand you, or for these people to understand you. It was up for you to understand yourself, okay? So what you have here is a new beginning, a token of gratitude as well from your angels, from your ancestors, from your guides, for being able to stand up for yourself, strength, for being able to be strong in yourself. Some of you have even seek counseling or sought out mental clarity, mental guidance. A lot of you have been going to your neighborhood hoodoo. A lot of you have been going to you know, someone that can help you understand your emotions better, your inner turmoil better. If you denied therapy in the past, wanting to get help this year, which is really amazing for you. Even then, when it comes to spirituality and your spiritual path, you know, being in this state of mind and affirmations and manifestations, meditating almost daily, this helps the mental space greatly. I've gotten over a lot of and this isn't even about me, so I'm not going to go into it in depth, but I've had chronic depression since I was 6 years old. And at the end of the day, because I've learned how to constantly check my thoughts, check my anger in myself, my guilt in myself, my fears in myself of feeling like I'm not good enough, feeling like I'm not worthy, constantly checking that. I've learned to magnify my vibration. I've learned how to bring myself higher. I've learned how to speak to myself and be like, it's okay to be where you are at this very time. It's okay to be comfortable where you are, because the rest of the world is always going to be moving around you. Okay? No one's waiting for you. Okay? No one's waiting for you to receive your answers. No one's waiting for you to receive your call. And this is the biggest problem with hustle culture, wanting to be a part of something that you feel is bigger pertaining to the material. And I, not even to go back to myself, but I left my 9 to 5 at the beginning of the year so that I could stay at home and start my business, which was really amazing for me, which was a great opportunity for me, taking that jump, although it was very scary. Now here I am now talking to you guys, chilling at home, and got my bat pillow in the back. The bat is an amazing spirit totem pertaining to intuition, pertaining to the shadow self, being able to accept and fly through your circumstances, no matter if the night is dark. You have echolocation. A lot of bats are very blind, but they have their sense, another sense. They don't see out of their third eye, but you know what I mean. They have echolocation. This is like your echolocation, okay? Think of it as that. So, where am I? So what you have here is being able to hold yourself up in your strength, your energetic alignment in yourself, receiving clarity and being able to speak up for yourself, receiving clarity and being able to look to yourself for the answers, knowing wrong from right, which some of you are still practicing boundaries with in yourself with. You have to remember to be gentle to yourself, be kind to yourself. New friendships here pertaining to your inner child energy, Page of Cups, being able to speak up in a lighthearted fashion. This blue, this light baby blue is coming up for me. Some of you take it as it's resonating, very small percentage. You're having babies as well. At the end of this year, beginning of the new year is what I'm hearing. Somebody in your family could be having a baby. I'm trying to keep it as general as possible so that nobody's like, hey, I'm not having a baby. I'm just like, you never know. But look, you have 2 nines here, angel number 99 as well, about developing the house, the home, loving yourself, being comfortable in yourself. A lot of you have moved into your own space. You want to move out of the country. You want to move out of your city. You want to move into a new apartment, anything like that. This involves being guilt-free, being debt-free. Sorry. This involves releasing yourself of any debt, getting yourself into a better headspace so that you're not overextending your money anywhere unnecessarily, sorry, so that you're realizing that things do take time. Things come with time. Not everything is going to come to you quickly. Not everything is automatically granted to you or owed to you because you work so hard. All of us are working so hard and trying to be the best that we can be. Okay? So you have to realize, like I said, the world isn't stopping for you, which is a really important reminder to remember when it comes to that hustle culture and wanting to be a part of the status quo, wanting to be a part of the social media brigade and things like that. That stuff is always going to be there. Okay? People are always going to be there with the antics, okay? And you have to do what you have to do to be able to love yourself, grow in yourself, not be looking out for so many other opinions that aren't your own is very, very important. But yeah, this is a big message in being able to not have so much self-doubt, to be able to love yourself. This butterfly spirit totem is about personality changes, going back to being gentle with yourself, being kind with yourself, being able to view yourself as the matriarch, no matter if you are the feminine or the masculine. Okay, being able to view yourself as a motherly energy, being able to hold yourself and hug yourself and feel that warmth within yourself. Okay. What else is this that I'm hearing? This is a message about somebody out there who has lost a mother, feel like you're losing a mother, or feeling like you're still trying to create a friendship with your mother. And at the end of the day, this is still very, very possible, even in the afterlife. Giving thanks, showing gratitude, giving offerings to this family member, being able to look at yourself and know that this person, if your mother is still alive, this person has issues beyond you that are still going on. Look, you're sitting here healing your issues, and I'm sure that person is healing their issues to the best of their abilities as well. I promise you. People really do most of the time try as hard as they can, although it may seem like they are the villain in your story. You have to take a step back and be able to detach yourself from what's going on in their life, because it's too much for you to hang on to. The same as fatherly energy as well. In order to be able to truly forgive those people for being who they are, you have to take the steps to be able to forgive yourself by detaching yourself from their personal underdevelopment and growth that you felt shame about, that you felt anger about, where it's like, why couldn't you do this? It all seems so simple, right? Why couldn't you do this for me? Why couldn't you be there for me the way that I wanted you to be there for me? And you have to make sure that you are doing what you can to be able to put this love and comfortability into yourself, your home space, your heart space, even then as your home, your physical body as well, in the physical, the pentacles. Be able to make your space the home that you feel like you didn't have growing up. Be able to make yourself that energetic space, even if it's not your physical home. Your physical home is still your body as well. And for somebody out there, you need to be eating better, eating more raw fruits, vegetables, things like that, eating more of your greens, because there's some lethargic feelings if you don't eat very well. Drink your water, drink at least 2 liters a day. What else am I hearing? But yeah, a lot of people are releasing the stigma of what is going on around them in the status quo. And this is very, very important, because we have to realize that even in the spiritual journey, there's some people who feel oh, this is just a hype right now, or this is just, no, there's those of us who've been on this journey for years. I started my spiritual journey well over early to 2018. I went through my big ascension symptoms, like, what would I say, like mid 2019 to all throughout this year, basically. And there's a lot of people who have spent a lot of their time going through their new ascension symptoms, like the mid of this year, like mid-July and things like that, moving into, I noticed both years there was a pattern, especially when it comes to developing and coming into your soul family and soul growth as well. But yeah, what else can I say? There's a lot of releasing inner doubts. There's a lot of releasing not being able to hold boundaries for yourself, feeling like you're respecting yourself a lot more. Sorry, let me move this. Feeling like you're respecting yourself a lot more, less doubt in yourself. Doing what you want to do with no strings attached. Not really, you have to remember, if you're going on your spiritual awakening and your spiritual journey, you cannot be focused on what other people are thinking about you, okay? You cannot be focused on what other people are thinking weird, what they're not thinking is acceptable. You have to focus on what you feel is acceptable in your mind, in your heart, in your body, okay? And look, you have the Empress here, and this is beautiful divine feminine energy for anybody. Like I said, masculine, feminine, whoever you are, they, whoever you are, non-binary. This energy of the Empress is your divine feminine energy. This is your ability to be able to stand up for yourself and your gorgeous beauty, being able to be confident. You're seen as confident. You're going to be looking forward to being seen as gold, as the queen or king, whoever you are, in your feminine energy, being able to stand up in your vulnerability. And with some people, they mistake vulnerability as being a pushover, or being forgiving as being a pushover. And listen, when you're forgiving, that does not mean that you, if I say to forgive and you automatically are just like, oh, why would I let that person back into my life? That's not what I'm saying. And that means that you've done that one too many times, okay? And you want people to be able to give you the closure that you want, and be able to be coochie crunch with these people. And no, that's not always the case. Forgiving is being able to let go for you, okay? Forgiving is being able to let go to see the best in yourself. And that's not to say you have to go and say sorry to this person physically, especially if they did to you. But what you can do is be able to say to yourself, be able to say to yourself, I'm not going to always receive the closure that I've wanted. I'm not always going to be able to make this person see my side of the story and let them know that they weren't okay, they were incorrect. I'm not always going to be able to explain to this person to see the beauty and light within me. And that's okay. That's simply you forgiving yourself, forgiving the situation, letting that go, letting that that rough energy of having the block on your shoulders, the heavy ass block, okay? And for some, it's even caused some blockages because you're so focused on the what if, you're so focused on that, needing that closure. Closure is an option, okay? You have the option to close the door, okay? And start over again. Beautiful. Remember to stay confident. Remember to stay gold. Remember, a lot of wish fulfillments are coming for you guys. It's foolproof. It's foolproof. The spiritual awakening and spiritual journey is not easy, okay? Is not always easy. To heal takes a lot. To heal takes a lot of reliving traumas, reliving anxieties. you know, in order to cut off and cut my generational pact and cycle completely, on top of using alchemy, I had to go back to where it very first started and take steps to go back to my very first traumas, even traumas other people have put on me a little bit later on, traumas that I've put on other people that I grew a guilty conscience for, that went to the back of my subconscious. Fearing certain things about my powers and magic because of westernized culture and the fears that they put, especially in scary movies and things like that. And it's funny because as some of you know, I have the ability of exorcism. I do energetic purgings and blessings and things like that. And growing up as a kid, I always loved exorcism movies. I watched scary movies religiously. And there was a part of me in my subconscious that had some fears of entities that I was releasing and emotions that I was releasing, like, you know, your energetic quote unquote demons. Everybody has them. Everybody has energetic demons to purge, okay? Whether that be a lot that you've gained from guilt, whether that be a lot that you've gained from fear, whether that be something that you've gained from a guilty conscience, from doing things that you did not feel good about. Whatever you've done, you know what you've done. And I'm not saying that in a way to like guilt trip you, like, you know what you've done, but it's in a way to be like, you know what you feel bad about. You know what skeletons, if you open the closet, the big ass skeleton's gonna fall out and all that. You know what it is. And it's your job to be able to handle that. You know, after a certain age, when you're an adult, after everything is said and done, it's your job to be able to focus on your healing. It's your job to be able to do what you need to do to get yourself into a better energetic space and to get that help that you need. If you need to reach out to someone, if you need to reach out to suicide hotline, if you need to reach out for therapy, if you need to reach out for spiritual wellness as well, whatever you need to do. But don't blame these things on yourself. Even those things that were wrong for you, even those things that you know you have to take accountability for, don't just put it all on yourself in a guilty conscience, in a guilty manner, and let these things allow you to waste away. Because those dark entities, those energies that try to surround you, they will feed off of that. They feed off of any little thing. Negative, okay. You know, negative thoughts and behaviors turn into negative energies, which turn into negative entities, okay? And that's how you end up with negative energetic attachments. And a lot of people need to be doing cord cuttings as well. In this new moon energy, cord cutting from those who were a liability to your emotions, to your life, is very important, very necessary. Those who were envious of you, those who felt like you were too good to yourself and you didn't deserve you know, what's being placed in front of you, changes. You don't deserve to change. No. Those are people who, what did we start with? Steve Lacy, that's no fun. I change, you change. Why will one stay the same? Right? Okay, so enough of me blabbering, because this was just 40 minutes of me straight going. But yeah, this is a lot of new moon energy, you know, targeting the shadow, targeting what is meant to be, and knocking it right out of the park, not going back to old behaviors, old habits. It's very, very important, okay? A reminder of why you've gotten as far as you have and why you're going to go as far as you're going to go. And listening up to yourself, listening up to your guides, listening up to your ancestors. What do they need you to know? Asking them if you need a sign, you know, please, can I have a sign? You know, please, can you guide me to knowing that there is a physical change? Please, can you guide me to, and it's funny because you might receive your answer in a way that you never expected it. It could be something small, it could be something big. But either way, express gratitude, okay? Alright, so have a good day, you guys. Stay blessed.